Greetings, peace. My name is Oranmila Nasir Kayinde, and welcome once again to Critical Thinking and Common Sense. Now, I know that my last video was a bit not so good as far as the quality. I want to apologize for that. What happened was I actually made the video on my laptop, and for some reason Facebook would not allow me to load it. I don't know. So what I did was I played it and I recorded it with my phone and then loaded it like that. I guess they didn't catch it. But anyway, I'll get my recording skills up to par. Today, I'd like to discuss two topics. And one of them you may not agree with very strongly, especially black people. Now, I'm going to do something that may surprise you. I'm actually going to defend Donald Trump for not speaking about the gentleman, Mr. I believe it's Shaw, who tackled the shooter in the Waffle House, who had shot and killed four other people. But anyway, this is the reason this is how I'm going to defend Donald Trump. People have said that Donald Trump has not responded to the young man. He hasn't said anything about the shooting at all. He hasn't congratulated the young man or recognized the young man in any way. Now, I don't like to just talk off the top of my head all the time, so I want to refer to some text that I have that will explain why I say Donald Trump's input wasn't necessary and wouldn't make a difference. Here we go. Once again, this book is called Social Problems. Marcionis. This is the 5th edition. Okay, what it says right here. Let's get right to that. That one's next. That one's next. Now, this one here is called Critical Race Theory. Okay? Richard Delgado and Gene Stefanchik. All right, here we go. First of all, the idea that one can use words to undo the meanings that others attach to these very same words is to commit the emphatic fallacy. The belief that one can change a narrative by merely offering another, better one. That's the reader's or listener's empathy will quickly and reliably take over. I'll read this again. The idea that one can use words to undo the meanings that others attach to these very same words is to commit the emphatic fallacy. The belief that one can change a narrative by merely offering another, better one. That's the reader's or listener's empathy that the reader's or listener's empathy will quickly and reliably take over. Okay? Basically what they're saying is, we know what Trump is about. He showed us and told us during the skinheads and the neo-Nazis marching when he said there are good people on both sides. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. He told America then how he felt about Nazis marching, and there were good people on both sides. So for him to come back and give any kind of applause or recognition to this young man would be idiotic. And actually, would you believe it? Okay, so what do you need it for? Now, secondly, this right here. Here's some questions that you can ask yourself about these situations. If society agreed to think only kind thoughts about people of color, would their condition improve very much? How much in the short or long run? If society agreed to treat everyone, including people of color, exactly the same, would the condition of communities of color improve very much? Again, in the short or long run. Today, the African Americans attend segregated schools more than they did when Brown versus Board of Education was decided. More now. Okay, so that right there, what I'm saying is, my mother once had a neighbor, and I would come over to my mother's house and I would cut her grass or do this outside. And sometimes I would see her neighbor outside, doing yard work or taking the trash out or getting the mail. And I would always try to be cordial to my mother's neighbors because you want to leave a good impression, for your mom. So I would speak to this person all the time and they would never respond in kind. And the more they did it, the more upset I got. So I go to my mother and I said, Mom, how do you live next door to this person? They don't speak to you, they nasty, this and that. And my mother said to me, she said, let me ask you a question, son. She said, tomorrow, if that person spoke to you and waved at you, would you change your mind about them? Would you feel better about them? If they spoke to you one time. And I said, well, not really. She said, well, okay then. What good would it be to speak to them? Why are you letting it bother you? They're showing you who they are. She said, that person don't bother me. I don't see them. I first moved in here. I tried to be cordial to my neighbor, and they showed me who they were, and I left them alone. She said, tomorrow, if that person was to leave this earth and leave me everything that they have, my idea of them still wouldn't change. You understand what I'm saying? So let's stop expecting Trump to change. Let's stop expecting him to act like a president, which he's not. Now, here's another topic I want to speak to you about. Each time we have these people, let's be real. Each time we have a white guy, every time we have a white guy who goes out with an AR-15 and commits these atrocities against children, against ethnicities, against churches, moviegoers, people in whatever. It's always a white guy with an AR-15. You know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to say always. 99% of the time. And then what do they do immediately? They attach on him some sort of mental illness to explain away the hatred, to explain away what they've been taught by America. And this here, I already told you with the book, right? I already, basically cited who this is. Now, let me explain something to you. This is why you can't always attach this word mental illness on these people. Irving Goffman, The Power of Stigma. Stigma now. Growing up, we hear people say, sticks and stones can break your bones, but names can never hurt you. Okay? For one, disagree. Labeling someone as a criminal can be a form of stigma, a powerful negative social label that radically changes a person's self-concept and social identity. Once stigmatized, a person may find that friends and legitimate opportunities begin to disappear. In some cases, being stigmatized by others may launch a person on what sociologists call a deviant career, marked by an increasingly deviant identity and deeper involvement in rule-breaking behavior. In other words, it's not always a mental illness. Sometimes these things can come up in a family environment. They can come up in a school environment. They can come up in a work environment. It isn't always this person is sick. No, it's not. They're not sick. This person, because of whatever happened in a conversation or happened the way he was treated or she was treated, or whatever they perceive themselves to be or not to be. That is the question. The point is, it's not always a mental illness. Some of these things, many of these life choices are just that, choices. You have a choice to murder for people. You have a choice to shoot up a church. You have a choice to shoot people down while they're having a good time in Vegas. You have a choice to mow people down in a movie theater. There are plenty of people walking around here every day with mental issues. They take their medication, they follow their therapist or doctor's instructions, and they function without anyone knowing it. So I'm going to go over this again with you. I don't fault Trump for not speaking up, because his words would mean nothing to me if I was that young man. Nothing. That young man has already been applauded by people across the nation. Right in his hometown home state of Tennessee, he's been given accolades by so many people more important than that idiot up there in the White House. He's received over $100,000 donations. He's helped others. So the guy is okay. He's okay. You don't need your enemies' approval of you. You don't need it. And once again, I want to say that Candace Owens and Kanye West, what's going on with them, it doesn't matter. They're not that important. They're not that important. Kanye's not insane. Kanye is just an idiot. Now, he may have had some trouble and when his mother passed away. I give him that. But he's not insane. He knows what he's doing. And one more thing. If you guys are always upset, all you guys are upset about Kanye West, mind you now, just like Starbucks, just like Waffle House, Kanye is collaborating with all these other rappers. He has so many people he's producing that's coming out, including Nas. Now, when you guys get ready to go out and buy all that music, remember, you're putting money in Kanye's pocket. So let's be real. If you want to boycott Waffle House, you want to boycott Starbucks, but yet and still, you're still going to put money in Kanye's pocket? Because he's going to get paid for that. So if you're really true to what you say you believe in, it doesn't matter whether it's a black person, a white person, an Asian person, an Arab person, whatever. If these people are saying things against you and us as a people, no matter who they are, don't support them. This has been Critical Thinking and Common Sense with Obramila Nasir Kayende. And once again, thank you for joining me. Love, peace, and hair grease.